All right, my friends, I hope you've had a really good weekend. I hope that you found some rest and relaxation therein. I want today's message to be one of encouragement because I'm sure there's quite a few people out there right now that really need it. And in some cases, I have a feeling that these videos reach some people just in time. This year has been quite tumultuous, right? I mean, 2020 has been one like no other I've ever experienced in my 50 years. Now, I've had personal ups and downs, just like everybody else, but this is one that the whole world experienced. And some people actually managed to thrive in it, and others, well, they're struggling. And then you have some even below that line who are just finding themselves swallowed up in their circumstances and they feel like throwing in the towel. They feel like giving up. And if that's you, listen carefully to this today because I want this to strike home with you and to make you feel compelled to go on just a little bit longer, just a little bit longer. Okay. Um, you know, like I said, there's been personal turmoils within one's life, and then you have one that's an international calamity. For whatever reason, however you look at it, it has powerfully impacted the way everybody lives, hasn't it? And do you ever feel like you're just headed down a long, dark tunnel, swallowed up by everything that you have been forced to deal with? Well, sure you have. Sure you have. And the only good thing I can say about this year is that no one can say that they're the only ones going through it because we know that everybody is, right? But some people experience this to different degrees because some people might have been more adversely affected than others, and some people's personalities are more given to handling things a little more dramatically and a little more emotionally, and that's okay. I mean, it's not okay if it's not healthy. If you don't work through it and you don't find a way to make it, it's not healthy. But otherwise, you don't need to change your personality. You don't need to change your ability to be empathetic or to feel all the different things you're feeling. You just need to learn to cope with these things. And how do we do that? How do we do that? Well, if you feel yourself being swallowed up or going through a dark tunnel, remember this quote by Corrie ten Boom. She once said, "When a train goes through a dark tunnel and it gets dark, you don't throw away the ticket and jump off. You sit still and trust the engineer." Now, today's trains are probably well equipped to keep one in relative comfort when going through a long, dark tunnel, right? The lights might flip on and people feel secure. But there were times when people would take train rides, go through tunnels, and it would get pitch black. And if you're used to the train ride, it doesn't move you. You just sit still. You know to not get up and walk around because you might bump into somebody, accidents might happen. And a lot of good mystery movies have been made about terrible things that happen in the dark tunnel, right? And so the best course of action to do in a situation like that is to just sit still and trust the engineer to get you through it. What did Corrie ten Boom mean by this? Well, the engineer is God. Trust God. Okay? He crafted us, He created us. He is in control, despite how things might look. And He does have a plan. He is at the helm. He's not making all the bad things happen, but He's allowing them to happen that He may have His way with things in the end. And He will. He will. But He doesn't want your own personal demise in the meantime. He wants you to cast all of your cares upon Him. I don't care how big the burden might be, He wants it all. He absolutely wants it all. There is nothing too big for Him that you can't bring to Him and unload on Him. You're never an imposition. It's never inconvenient for Him. Never. So rather than taking action that could make things worse for you, sit still and trust the engineer. Corrie ten Boom knew something about this. She really did. I don't know how much you know about her. I'll share just a little bit with you. She was a Dutch watchmaker, grew up in a home where her father was a watchmaker. And she was born in the late 1890s, I believe. Anyway, in 1940, Hitler invaded the Netherlands, and he went on his killing spree. The Gestapo would round up Jews, take them to concentration camps, or just kill them outright. And they were their genocide was more of an atrocity than just that. They would uh, extinguish people with disabilities, anybody that appeared weak, and they had such a high criteria for that. You know, uh, everybody's life was in peril around someone like that. Okay, and while she herself was not Jewish, as far as I believe, because she was Dutch, but uh, there's a Jewish woman and her son came to her door one day and asked if they could be secured and kept safe from the Gestapo who was looking for them. And so she took them in, and because she believed in the Bible and she believed in God's word, she believed that the Jews were God's chosen people. And she said that God's chosen people are always welcome there. They can always find a safe place with her. And so they hid them in a room. And over the course of the war, Corrie ten Boom and her family saved around 800 Jews. And eventually the Gestapo caught her. Now keep in mind that her house was only about a half a block away from the police headquarters. And she did this all under their noses. And but she managed to save 800 Jews, around 800 Jews. Eventually she was caught, she was arrested, and she was sent to a concentration camp. Ravensbrück or something like that. She was sent to a concentration camp. Her father died 10 days later. Her sister also died while she was in the concentration camp. And I think her first 3 months she was in solitary confinement. Yeah. And while she was there, a Bible was smuggled in. She held worship services right under the Gestapo's noses. She eventually made it out. She was released by some, because of some clerical error, as she was told. After she was out, she went on a public speaking tour all over the world. Wrote a few books. Some of them made into movies, and like one called The Hiding Place. Check it out. And but she lived to tell her story. She lived to the ripe old age of 91 years old, but she made the most of it. She got through the dark tunnel. She got through the dark tunnel, and she used her experiences not to let her drag her down, not to let her lose encouragement, but rather to be the impetus for others to continue on. And not all tunnels are the same. The longest tunnel in the world is the Gotthard base tunnel in the Swiss Alps. It's over 35 miles long. And you may be going through a tunnel right now that is so long, you say, well, mine is longer than yours. It's darker. It's darker than everybody else's. But you will get through it. You just have to sit back and trust the engineer. Sit still. That's what you need to do. I know that may be hard because we feel compelled to take action, don't we? We feel like we have to do something, but you don't always have to do something. Just unload your cares on him. He wants it all. In the meantime, sit still and let him do his work, because he will have his way in the end. And if you can live to tell your story to help others, it will have been worth it all. All right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. If it has, leave a comment below. Make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. I have lots of other videos that are kind of like this, messages of encouragement, videos that are meant to help one know how to live and to just get through life. And if it means something to you, let it reflect. I appreciate it, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great day. and keep your head up. You will get through the dark tunnel. Have a good one. Bye-bye.